Checking out just now. When I had paid, cashier asked if I want my receipt. I said, yes, please. So she tore it off, handed it to me. I put my debit card in my wallet. Then I looked at her, she looked at me and said, do you want your receipt? And I said, yeah, but you just gave it to me. Yeah, I know. She was a young lady. The attention span, thanks to social media, is non-existent anymore. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're well into fall. Trees are really thinning out. Leaves are. And I don't think we're going to have the sort of color this year that's typical. It's colorful, but it's muted mostly. Asian beetles, lady beetles, with ladybugs, Japanese beetles, whatever you want to call them. They started about 4 or 5 days later this year than usual. There were a couple days where it was very minor. A few here and there gathering around the doors, windows, but I was encouraged. Maybe we're going to have a better year. And for whatever reason, the last 4 years have been anomalous in their huge populations. Then we had a couple days there weren't many at all. Ooh. Good. Hold your breath and cross your fingers. Maybe we're gonna get away with it this year. And then beginning 3 days ago, oh, look out. Here we go. Mobbed on the windows. Just, I won't say hundreds, but dozens and dozens. Which add up to hundreds, doesn't it? I discovered they were coming in around the front door, the west door, the big door that I don't open all winter. I vacuumed them up from the upper left corner. They were appearing 3 and 4 at a time. Just a minute or two after I had vacuumed up 3 or 4, same location. I had already cinched the doors down, or that door, with L brackets and screws. Pushed the door harder against the weather stripping. But I could see light coming in from both top corners of that door. A little bit of light. So I ran masking tape all the way around, all four sides, between the door and the frame, and they stopped. Whew. Okay, wow, good. And that has been a problem every year, but I didn't know about it. But they're still coming in, getting into the house. Where? Well, I discovered the back door. The same problem there. Little gaps. So I had the same type of L brackets on that door. Cinching it down didn't go far enough. So I got some shims and put those in between the bracket and the door itself. So when I tightened down the screw, it really closed another 1/8 of an inch. And that stopped them. So I'm in mop-up mode now. Vacuuming up the ones that are already in the house. And they will keep appearing over the period of a couple weeks until I finally am finished with getting them sucked up and taken away. Now I'm contending with the house flies that come in every year. Beginning in early September. They wait at the door. You open the door and they fly in. And you don't see them. And they accumulate in the house. I've got 2 windows at the top of the great room, and they're called awning windows, and those are 20 feet above level. I can't reach them for any reason. I don't have a ladder anymore. Brother-in-law came and picked it up a year ago, and they congregate on those windows. Inside of the windows, just buzzing. There's a couple dozen at any given time. Better have your TV turned on and the volume a little loud so you can't hear them, otherwise it'll drive you nuts. They're attracted to light. In the evenings when I sit and watch TV, and the only light on in the whole house is right next to me, they dive bomb that lampshade on the inside. Just like twirling dervishes, around and around, and bang, 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 pop, 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 and then off they fly. Every so often they'll land in there. If I'm lucky, get the fly swatter and hold the mesh part in my hand. Put my other hand on the outside of the lampshade, and yeah. Occasionally they're not in a good position to do that, but they'll be at the top lip of the lampshade, and a good aimed with the fly swatter. It's a sport, and I look forward to it every year. The fly follies. It's going to be windy and 84 degrees today. First thing I checked was to see if there's a red flag warning for fire danger. No. And then I looked at the humidity. For today it's going to be in the mid-50s. But 84 degrees for a high, and it's been this way for a couple weeks. Highs in the low 80s every day. Beginning tomorrow, according to the 10-day forecast a week ago, we were in for a good couple days of rain, which has disappeared. But at least beginning tomorrow, it's going to be high in the 60s, finally. That may help reduce the lady beetle population, at least around and on the house. I've been feeding her, which I probably talked about, some canned dog food. That's been a couple months. But a week ago, I have venison in my freezer that's been there for 3 years. Another batch from last year, thanks to Dennis. And I thought I'm gonna get some of the venison out, thaw it, and cut it into bite-sized chunks for her. There's a lot in one package. I've been feeding her that raw, cut up, bite-sized pieces of venison, a good tablespoon amount in one meal a day, changing from her kibble only to the canned food, and now the venison has renewed her in every way. She's so full of life and energy and fun now. She's like a new dog, and there's the example of the diet. And I think for so long, for so many years, all my dogs, beginning with Ari in the early 80s, Golden Retriever, then Easy in the late 80s, or 90s, then Suki beginning in 2009. They all got kibble only. I didn't know any better. And I wouldn't know any better now if I hadn't gotten into healthy eating for myself and learning about the microbiome and fiber and the wealth of nutrients we need that I had been missing. Well, now I applied that same idea to feeding your dog. God, they need raw meat. They're carnivores. They're evolved from wolves that eat nothing but raw meat. She's in a world of good now. I haven't seen this from her until now. This is the real Insley. Grasshopper hunting. Yeah, I know. I'm watching you. Mouse and a chipmunk. I had taught myself years ago, don't ever leave a bucket the right side up. Mice and chipmunks can get in there and they can't get out. just happened out here. I don't know when it happened, but it happened. I went to pick up the broom, which leans against the house and the railing. It had blown down, picked it up, leaned it up here and thought, well, wait a minute, something's missing from here. The towel. Those high winds were escorting in a cold front. And I was walking around in the winds with the camera, an hour ago maybe. It was 72 degrees. 10 minutes ago I looked, it was 56. Just now it's 55. Headed for a low of 37 overnight. A little bit of mist in the air. And the winds were up to 42 miles an hour, according to the weather app. What you got? What you got?